Good evening and welcome to the Penfriends podcast. I don't know what accent that was, but my name's Caitlin.
Ooh, I'm Becca.
Becca's a ghost now because she was
Yeah.
killed from the Men in Black talking about
Don't
conspiracies
be
last.
saying that. We've had a lot of weird electronic issues tonight, and
Yeah.
I will not joke around about that.
Yes, episode 8. Hello everyone. This is going to be our Halloween special edition. So, we're going to be talking about everything spooktacular, favorite Halloween everything. But first and foremost, we got to catch up with each other. So tell me, Becca, how was your week?
Good so far. It's Spirit Week,
That's true.
so today was Character Day, and I dressed up like Minnie Mouse, and it was really awesome. And then yesterday it was Hat Day, so Monday was Hat Day, and I wore my cat ears, but I didn't put them on until after I got the kids from the bus. But I had posted on Facebook, like, asking if it still counted as a hat. So all my coworkers were like waiting for my cat ears, and then they didn't see it, and they kept calling me out on it, and it was awesome.
Damn, did you like key their car afterwards or something for like talking shit about you? No, I'm just kidding.
What? No.
I don't, it's not that serious. Spirit Day is not that serious. I never did Spirit Day. Like in school, we would have Spirit Day, but I never was a participant unless it was a good
Why
theme.
not?
I never had any like school spirit wear because I didn't do sports. I was in choir,
Oh, yeah.
so like I never wore anything. And I didn't go to football games, so it was like homecoming day. I didn't really care
Yeah.
until I was in choir and we were required to go because we sang the national anthem. That was the one time I
Oh.
went. So anyway, no, I'm not that big into sports, but
I just liked it because, well, I mean, in middle school and when I was at public school, it was just kind of fun because we had assemblies and me and my friends were goofballs. So we would like go all out because it was like a bunch of like really creative kids because it was for advanced students, I
yeah.
guess. Like you had to test to get in. So everyone was just like really wacky, so it was a lot of fun. And then at Catholic school, it was nice because some days we could wear jeans. So I
Oh,
really liked that. Even though I really liked my skirt, I really liked wearing my uniform every day.
yeah,
And
jeans in a
everyone was
Catholic
like,
school.
"What?"
That's a luxury, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I always, growing up, I always wanted to wear a uniform to school, so I was happy that I actually got to do that for a couple years.
Mm,
It was my favorite part. Um, so then tomorrow for Spirit Week, it's Wacky Wednesday.
of
So
course it
I
is.
have a very colorful sweater that I wore last year, and I'll probably wear again tomorrow. And I have bright red pants that I haven't worn yet. So I'll probably wear
Mm.
those with my sweater and just be colorful. But I'm not sure because I have socks that where the tops of them are like cat, it's a cat, and then
Mm-hmm.
on the back there's a tail. And I really wanted to wear those for Wacky Wednesday. So maybe I'll wear leggings again and wear those socks.
I think you should be
Yeah.
comfy. You're gonna go in a big
Yeah.
sweater, just especially with this weather. The weather lately has been
I know.
terrible.
Oh my Lord. We couldn't go outside yet this week, and my kids are bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, but
So hopefully
I,
it'll be good tomorrow. And then Thursday is pajama day. I'm real excited for pajama day.
I always did pajama day. That was the one spirit day I always did. Uh,
Of course.
crazy hat day or crazy hair day I liked, but anything that did with school spirit, no. But I don't know why. Um, yeah, no, I was surprised at how productive I was today. I have to be productive. It's like for my mom and I, it's the Hell Week before Hell Week for the show,
Yeah.
because we are filming the production with permission from the
Oh.
company, just so you know. I'm clarifying
Wow.
that for
Yeah.
everyone. The company that we're doing, the community theater, has permission to film it to give to the cast members. And so my dad is doing the recording this coming Monday, so next Monday. And we have to have everything done for that. So
Yeah.
we're on the last stretch of it. There's a lot of little things that need to be done, but I got a decent amount of work done today, and usually I'm not productive when it's rainy and cold out. So I was that's where my mind is at, is just trying to finish up the show. And then actually on Thursday I'm going to go up to the theater to the very first rehearsal for the next show I'm working on. So to meet the cast and the rest of the designers and stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
excited. That'll be a change of pace. I'll get to drive up to Midland and do all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh great.
That'll well, yeah, I mean, to me I'm like, ugh, driving all the way to Midland is like, wah, wah.
Oh yeah,
But
it is longer. It's like an hour 40 from my house, and so yeah, it's not, but it's all back roads. I don't take highway up.
yeah, I really like that. I like,
So,
because I really only, whenever I go, I'm only on the highway for like half an hour,
mhm.
and then an hour or so are back roads, and I really like that. It's my favorite. Actually, Josh and I drove out to Sparta just because I was really curious, because I was like, I've never, I don't know what I was saying. Like, I think I just said, oh, I've never kept going down this road or whatever. And Josh was like, it goes out to Sparta. And I was like, oh. And then he was like, have you ever been out to Sparta? And I'm like, no. He's like, you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So we just drove, and it reminded me of going and driving like to Mount Pleasant.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, so it was kind of cute. And then the downtown area reminded me of Mount Pleasant a lot.
Hmm.
So
I've
mhm.
never been to Sparta, but it's okay. So maybe I'll
It's just
just
very small townish.
yeah.
And nowhere has a bathroom. We were trying to find a bathroom forever because we were like half an hour away from home. And
Mhm.
we could not find a bathroom anywhere. And Josh was getting pissed because he had to go to the bathroom before we left.
Right.
And we couldn't find a bathroom. It was funny.
No gas station?
They were like really little
Mm.
rinky-dink gas stations. Like the Dollar General, no bathroom. The library was closed. We went like somewhere else and it had no bathroom. Oh, the Rite Aid, no bathroom.
What? That's
Yeah, so
so
we like
funny.
went just outside of downtown. On our way back, there is a family fair, and
Mm.
it's huge. And like we passed it on the way, and Josh was like, "I want to go in that family fair." I'm like, "I bet they have a bathroom." So, and they did.
Good.
But that's my story.
What a riveting bathroom tale that you told. Thank you.
Wow,
Thus ends
the
the
shade.
tale.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you ever want to go into, I grew up in a really small town, kind of like that. It was like one stoplight. When I say grew
hmm
up, that's where my grandma lived. So whenever I had to go
Oh
visit my
yeah,
grandma, which was often, we spent holidays there and summers there
in Remus,
in
right?
Remus. Yep.
Yeah.
You've driven through Remus. We drove through Remus together one
I
time,
like
didn't we?
Remus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, yeah, I like it a lot. And then my roommate, Lindsay, she is from a really small town where, like, there was one time in one of her classes that she had to write a 3 to 5 page paper on, like, where she is from. And she had to get, like, a special circumstance from her professor. Because first her professor didn't believe her that there is, like, literally nothing in her town. Like there is
Mm-hmm.
one stop sign, there's a McDonald's, and that's it. Like the high school was not in her town. Like nothing was in her town.
Right.
It was just outside of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the professor didn't believe her, so she literally had to pull up the website for her town that is 3 sentences. And the like
Damn.
major news was that they were in the process of building like a dollar store or something, like
Yeah.
a Dollar Tree. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, small towns like that are, they have a way of just staying old,
Yes.
but at the same time wanting to add new stuff. Like one
Yeah.
time my so when my grandma still lived there in Remus, um she told my family, specifically I think she told my mom that they were
Oh yeah.
building a subway. Have I told you this
hmm
story?
Yeah.
That's a funny story. I'm telling it again. So they were building a subway and my mom was like, this town's too small. Why do they need a subway station there? Like, no one needs a freaking train, an underground railroad for subway. What? It's like one stop
Subway
sign.
station.
And she's like, no, the sandwich shop. We're building a subway. And that,
Only your mom would be like, a subway station.
yeah, like that.
That is so funny.
Yeah, that. I love my mom.
And then we passed it. I remember
We
when we were
did
driving
pass
by,
that
I was like,
subway,
oh my God, is that the subway?
and we
I love
passed
it.
by. It's right next to. They built a dollar store there, but the old, like, family-owned grocery store that my dad worked at as a teenager is still there. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
It's called Fates. They sell
That's
Spartan brand.
crazy. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, it is. I do like it. Yeah. I think
Wow.
they have like a knockoff Jolly Green Giant man. I don't know. We were talking about
Probably.
if we were talking about at dinner, like we would prefer like Chester the cheetah from the Cheetos brand to be the president. And I was like, no, you know who the ultimate like food mascot to be the president is? Do you want to take a guess on who I said? Because I think you could get it. The food, what food
Um,
mascot would I want to be my president?
I don't even know.
Well, for
I have
who
no
would you
clue.
want? Who would you want to be the
Oh my God,
president?
there's so many choices.
There are.
I don't know either.
All right,
Who would you pick?
I picked Tony the Tiger
What?
from Frosted Flakes. Okay, and here's my reasoning. I have pretty solid
Because he
reasoning.
can make America great again.
No, I didn't think about that. No, I. That is. Oh, I'm crying in the club right now. That is not what I was saying. That's not what I was thinking at all. When
Oh my God. I don't eat cereal, so that's probably why I'm like, I don't know any of them. What were you gonna say for Tony the Tiger?
okay, so the commercials. If you are familiar with Frosted Flakes commercials,
Sure.
there's like a dad and a daughter coming in from playing like baseball together or catch or whatever the fuck dads and daughters
Hmm.
do. Um, and then they come in and then they're like really energetic and happy and like they're, having a good time. And then they have breakfast, which is always Frosted Flakes. So, what I'm saying is Tony the Tiger would be the promoter of family and kids getting sports in and health. And, like that's the leader we need. Because Michelle Obama was doing a great job at doing that, and now that's all gone. So, um, yeah,
That's
that's why I
interesting.
think that's
I
why
think
I
mine's
was
better.
doing. Yeah, yours is definitely better. I'm gonna have to tell my parents
Because
that
that could be
tomorrow.
for anything, like make nutrition great again, make families great again, everything.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of those characters have great slogans that could be applied to American politics. Politics.
What are you saying?
American politics. How about that?
Yeah.
Like they're magically delicious drugs because they're bad. See, that's great.
Oh
Anti-drug,
my God.
the war on drugs. Anyway, um, let's
Anyway,
get into let's get into it, shall we? Because we've already had
yeah, dude.
technical problems this entire night. I want to talk about fucking Halloween. It's my favorite. It really
It's
is.
mine too. So
Yeah,
I think we're gonna be talking about like all things Halloween, our favorite traditions and everything,
absolutely. Yeah.
right?
So I was very involved in Halloween as a kid, and I still am. It's different when I'm living at home because, like, my sister's away at college. No one's trick or treating. We're not in any sort of neighborhood,
Yeah.
to trick or treat at. So we're not going to really experience it. But my house downstairs is decked out. I will have to send you pictures because I don't think I showed you. But we have a fireplace now. The mantle is
Oh, please do.
covered.
Yeah.
My mom did decorations in the dining room and the living room. And oh, she
Oh,
loves it so much. And we have like a witch's broom hanging up and like in different
cute.
places. It's really decked out. So that makes me happy because she always decorates for the seasons, the mantle at least. But for
Yeah.
Halloween, she balls to the wall. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah,
That's
that's definitely gonna be me. Like when we get a house and stuff. Like
hmm
I actually didn't decorate this year. Time kind of got away from me, unfortunately. So all of the like decorations I've been getting are more fall instead of just
yeah.
specifically Halloween. But I still have a bunch of decorations from when I was growing up. So those are like my favorite ones to put out, obviously. And Josh really likes Halloween too, but he is so focused. He's like, "Are we gonna have trick-or-treaters this year? Are we having them this year?" And he thought for sure that when we were at um our last apartment,
Mm-hmm.
he thought for sure that we would have them there, but we didn't.
Yeah, you're
So
right. We didn't.
I
Well,
know,
I
which
was
is like really
gone.
surprising because they were kids surrounding us. So I'm kind of surprised too. Also, I think we were gone, so we wouldn't have seen anyway. You and I were gone, I think,
Yeah, we both
doing Rocky
we
or
both were in that
something.
production of Rocky that year. So though, which is also we might as well just bring it up now. How one of my
Oh yeah,
newer tradition in my life now is watching Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror.
That's one of my favorite movies to
Yeah,
watch now.
I've been watching Rocky Horror since I was like 12 years old. And just in the past couple years, I've finally understood that movie. And I mean, it takes a while,
It does.
but yeah, I've been watching it for years and years. And then I read Perks of Being a Wallflower, which takes place in like the 80s when they're doing the shadow cast of Rocky Horror because that used to be like that really used to be a thing. It wasn't like I mean it was still like a cult following, but
Mm-hmm.
like it was so much more like that's what people did. And now I feel like it's more of like an alternative choice
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean? Like it's still like very taboo, which the movie will always be pretty taboo. But so when I read that book when I was like 12 or something, and then my best friend was like, "Oh yeah, we got that movie and my mom used to go to those." So she
So
showed
do
me
my
the movie
parents.
and I was like, "What the frick is this?" Because like the book does not describe it,
Yeah.
obviously, because it's not like the forefront. So then it was so cool going to college and being able to be in Rocky Horror. That was the best thing ever.
Yeah, I would like see clips of it. I never watched the full movie until I got to college. But my mom says that one of the first things she and my dad did together was go and see a shadow cast down at the Broadway
Oh,
in Mount Pleasant at Rocky Horror. And I'm like, was
that's
that
awesome.
APO? Like, I didn't know if our fraternity was doing it at that time, but they probably
I don't
were.
know.
We have pretty old
Probably.
pictures um, in the green room still of Rocky Horror
Hmm.
casts. So I wouldn't be surprised if the fraternity was still doing it,
It's
20
just
some years
such a
ago.
strong tradition,
Hmm
and I love that so much. And even though, like, I don't know if we'll make it out this year, which is sad,
Yeah.
it'll be like my first time in 6 years that I haven't gone and seen it, but that is, yeah, it's super fun. I love it.
It's a lot of fun if you ever can, even just going to see a shadow cast with the, not a shadow cast, even if a place is doing the movie and they'll sell
And the
like
call out.
with the call
Yeah.
outs and they sell the bags of props and things like that you throw. It's still a lot of fun. It's a good group community closeness thing. I
Yeah,
don't know. You know what I'm trying to
it
say?
really is.
Yeah.
It's just a great experience overall.
I showed it to Jeremy the other day. He was over, oh God, a few
Mhm.
weeks ago. And because I was prepping him, I was like, if we're going to go up to potentially see it, you need to have seen the movie at least once. And
Yeah, because otherwise you're gonna be like, what the
yeah,
fuck is this?
that's exactly what I said. But it was really hard for me not to do the call outs. I was like, I should give him a chance to like actually watch it to see if he enjoys it. But I don't think he did. I don't think
No, like you don't, not even just like this is weird, but
he was mostly
there's
like that.
something to it.
He liked my call outs because some of them had to slip through. Like, I think I said, eat this donut, I'm diabetic. Like,
Yes,
I
that's
think I
the
said that
best
one.
one.
Um,
Dylan Herky, shout out.
I think I said, wanna fuck a midget. Like, those are my two of my
Oh my
favorites.
God.
And so I did some of them, and he chuckled at a few of them. I think he would enjoy it more if like we went up to see it,
You think
and
so?
I think so
Yeah.
because it's more of the performance of it
That's
and
when
like,
I really started like really getting into it. 'Cause I mean, like I watched it when I was so young,
hmm
and then like over the years I watched it like on and off, and I'm still like, what the hell? But then it was just the coolness of being like, oh yeah, there's a shadow cast, and I'm in college, and it's so cool, and it's like that book I read,
hmm
and then I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
yeah,
So,
I definitely enjoy it more when I'm with my friends and we're either
oh
doing the
yeah,
shout outs all together and we're yelling at the virgins in the audience and who have never
oh
sang it
yeah.
before and just having a good time. Yeah.
Now I wanna
I know, I
go.
do too. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe we can go super last minute.
Let's go on Friday.
You want to go on Friday? I'll see if I can
Yeah,
swing
we'll
it.
talk about it.
Yeah, we should definitely. Um,
So, other than Rocky Horror, do you have any other like Halloween movie staples?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like what?
Nightmare Before Christmas was always
I've
my
never
movie
seen
state.
it.
Oh my God, what? You've never
Yeah,
seen
no.
Night?
I've tried watching it so many times, and each time I get a little bit further, but I've never seen the whole thing.
Oh God, I'm just gonna like
Yeah,
tie you to a chair and just make you watch Rocky, not
that's
Rocky
what
Horror.
Josh I mean, that's what Josh says.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to just watch it. And I'm like, babe, I would if I could. Like, you do not understand how much it pains me to have to constantly be like,
You've never
I
seen this
don't
movie.
know. Yes. Ah, it's so bad. But
That's the feeling I get when people realize that I've never read Harry Potter.
okay, I don't want to talk about that.
It's sitting on my bookshelf right now. That's after I finish this book, Sorcerer's Stone is the next book I'm picking up.
Let's
So,
buddy read it.
well, should we? Yeah, okay, we
Yeah,
could do
can
that.
we?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we can
Okay.
start doing Harry Potter themed podcasts because,
Oh my God,
yeah,
yes.
okay, all
Okay.
right, we'll do it. I'll tell you when I'm gonna
Awesome.
start reading it again.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, my favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus.
yes, that's another one.
Hmm.
Did I tell you I
I used,
just saw that in the theater?
oh, yes, you did, and
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Me and my mom used to watch it every year,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, I'm obsessed with it. And then, one of our last Christmases or something, she like found a DVD, some around Christmas time, I don't know how, and gave it to me. I think it must have been like before I was going to college or something.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh
that's
yeah, I
super
love
sweet.
Hocus Pocus. It's
Yeah.
so good. Did you hear though that they're making
Another
a
one?
remake and
Yes.
they're not using the original cast
I
like
know.
at all?
I'm
And I'm
shaking.
like,
That's not.
okay, this is wrong. Or a sequel or something, and none of the original people are gonna be in it. So that is not canon. But
It's an AU. It's an alternate universe where they're like all
yeah,
different. Yeah, no, that was really fun to see in the theater because everyone just loved it and so many people dressed up as witches. It was really cute.
oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
I didn't dress up because it was scorching hot out that day. Remember when it used to be
Yeah.
warm like a few weeks ago? Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other Halloween movies. I just really like the stop motion animation movies like Coraline,
I haven't
Corpse
seen
Bride,
Coraline either. I really like Corpse Bride, and there's another Tim Burton one, Corpse Bride, and then there's another one. Maybe not.
Paran.
I don't know. If I think of it, all.
Are you thinking Paranorman? That's not Tim Burton, but that's stop motion
No,
animation. That one's a good one too.
maybe it's not Tim Burton. I don't know. And maybe I'm thinking of Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know. I don't know.
You might.
But Coraline, I need to see that movie
Oh, it's
because
so good.
I saw it. Well, I didn't see it, but my aunt got it years ago, probably like 10 years ago. And it was, oh no, not 10. It was like 6 or 7 because it was right before I went off to college. Everything happened just right before I went to college. But I had like a sleepover
Hmm.
with my two younger cousins at my aunt's house, our aunt's house. And we watched Coraline and I fell asleep and they did not, and they're like terrified of that movie now. I think they were too young to see it because that seems to be the general consensus is that like older, like teenagers and adults could really appreciate it, but it was kind of too spooky or like it's too out there for kids. And the book is wild.
Yeah, the book is wild.
I just read the book and I was like, what is this?
The movie's
But
really good. I need to reread the book again because I remember snippets of it. We listened to it in the car on a way down to Florida one time.
ooh, it
So
would be a good audiobook.
yeah, I remember it being good, but I never read the book myself. So that should be something that I put on
Oh
my
my
list.
God. It is wild. I don't know if I would ever read it again, so maybe you can just have my copy. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it for a readathon and I was reading a bunch of middle grade books for some reason. Like I read Matilda and I read
Oh,
Coraline and I was like, "Oh yeah, Coraline, I can read that in one sitting because it's super thin." It took me like 4 days to read it because I was like, "What is this? Is everything okay?"
my boy Neil Gaiman just
Man,
having a good time.
that book is messed up. And it shook me.
So did you go so movies. I would always
Yeah.
watch we would always watch Nightmare for Christmas. We used to have Halloween parties a lot because
Oh, cute.
we lived right downtown and my
Mhm.
hometown had a Halloween night.
Oh,
It was a
nice.
town-wide party basically and they had a band and they had a whole bunch of like vendors there and stuff and like basically all of downtown was like the road was closed off and people were just, having a good time. There was a costume contest. So we lived like a 10-minute walk from that.
Yeah.
So we would have our party and then we would all walk down to the little festival. But now that we don't live down there, we don't do that anymore, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, and it's this weekend. It's this
Oh.
weekend and it's going to be rainy as hell. So I feel really
Mhm.
bad, but I also don't have a costume. I loved dressing up and going trick or treating, obviously. Like, do you have any
Yeah.
favorite costumes?
Um, I don't know. I have like a lot of really good ones just because like my parents were super creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like yours are like really creative too. So like my dad was big into drawing and stuff, so he always did my makeup. So I think it was like my biggest memories were not so much my costumes, but like the family bonding of it. So like there were so many years where my mom made my costume and my dad did my makeup. Or even if I had like store-bought costumes, like me and my mom came up with the ideas together. Like I was a vampire one year and there's like pictures where my dad like did my makeup and he made like a really deep like widow's peak and like
Oh,
everything
really?
and I was like ah, and it was really cool. Like he spent a lot of time on my makeup whenever he did it. And then one of the first costumes I remember, I was a ballerina and my mom made like the entire costume and it was just really pretty and then she did like fairy makeup kind of on me like it was just really pretty and then yeah as I got older um they just always like I just remember because I know like some parents, especially I'm seeing it like with some of my kids. I got one kid who was saying that like her brother got a Chucky costume and she wanted like a costume like that, but her mom said like no, you have to be a
Ah,
princess because you're my, little girl type thing. And I'm like, you should tell your mom, tell her that you want to be Chucky next year. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So like it just so that just made me really grateful that like my parents were always like, "What do you want to do?" Like and supported me in like whatever costume I wanted to be. Like I was an M&M. I had an
Oh,
I was like a green M&M because those were my favorite M&Ms.
she's the
And
sexy
then
one.
yeah, I thought of that just as I was saying that. So I'm like, great. And I was a clown, and my mom made me a clown costume, and then I got like a wig, and I don't remember that year, but we still had the costume.
Mm-hmm.
So like every year when we would pull down the Halloween decorations, we'd also pull out like the box of old costumes. So it was like kind of fun to go through all of those. And I was like an old man one year. That was really
Oh, yeah.
great. Yeah, that was a really fun costume. And then as I got more into like high school and started doing special effects makeup and stuff, like even though my mom would be like, "Oh, that is nasty," she would still be like, "That is awesome."
Yeah.
So it was like it was really cool.
And you're really good at that stuff too. Like you used to do, I don't know if you do that anymore. I remember a
I
few
haven't.
YouTube videos that you did
Yeah,
of you doing the
when I
special
first
effects
started
makeup.
my YouTube channel, I did during October, I did like special effects Fridays. I only did a couple of them, and I did a couple makeup tutorials. But yeah, I don't know. I watch like Glam and Gore
Mm-hmm.
and Made You Look, and they like do really simple prosthetics where they like build it themselves. So I'm always like, oh, I could do that, but I just really haven't dabbled in it in a long time. But those are popping up in my Facebook memories. Like I did a really cool one uh last year, a couple years ago or something, where it looked like I stapled my eyes open. And that one
Yeah.
turned out really cool, and I was like, man, that turned out really cool in the pictures. And oh yeah, when we were at CMU, I used to do the Legends of the Dark haunted campus tours,
Mm-hmm.
and like usually people just like blacked out their face or like did really, in my opinion, rinky dink makeup because I'm like, oh, come on, like put some feeling in it or like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, you could go crazy. And me and Josh were like the only ones that like went crazy. So, and our friend that we made through it. And so we would like coordinate makeup. So they would put us all at the same location. And so instead of knowing the location as like by the story, they would call it Clown Corner instead because we would usually do clowns. And the other girl could do like backbends, which look really creepy
Oh,
under very minimal lighting, which
yeah.
there is like little lighting. So she would like follow them all in and then stand at the back of the group where no one was paying attention because they were paying attention to the story. And then she would do a backbend and like walk into the middle of the group.
What
And
the
it was
heck?
really wild. Yeah, it was
Oh,
super cool.
that's so
It
fun.
was so fun. I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My mom was the similar. She would make my costumes because that's what she does. And
hmm
so one of my first ones I think she made for me was Sailor Moon. I really wanted to be Sailor
Oh,
Moon. So there's a picture of me and my sister. I'm like, gosh, I'm in like the third grade. So my sister's like little. I don't even know if she started school yet, or if she did, she was like just starting preschool. But for whatever reason, that year my sister had to be like in the I had like a little karate outfit that I just wore around. It was one of my dress up outfits, but it fit my
yeah.
sister. So I was Sailor Moon and I'm like all happy in this picture. And then my sister's standing next to me just bawling her eyes out because she did not want to do
Uh,
that. But I don't know why. I think she just couldn't decide what she wanted to do. So I
oh.
think my mom just put her in that and
hmm
that did not make Lauren happy. So that's
Well,
if I find that picture I'll show you because it's adorable. But one of my best friends from high school and I remember one year we would help her grandparents pass out candy, or I would walk
hmm
with my sister. But I was Alice, and she was the Queen of Hearts, and our moms both they both made us costumes. So it was a pretty epic year. But
That's
I'm trying to
cool.
remember. I think I'm confusing because I would always have themed birthday parties as well, and so
Oh,
in my memory, I'm confusing like, was I Princess Zelda one year for Halloween, or was that for my birthday party? And that was for my birthday party. So, um, we had a video
well,
game
that's
themed
cool
party. Yeah,
too.
she made me a Zelda costume. That was pretty rad. But yeah, no, I can't remember any other Halloween costumes other than those. I'm sure I
Yeah.
was like a witch one year, some stuff like that. But
Yep, I was a witch and, all sorts of things, the like super generic stuff. But yeah, then as I got older, like I would just do like really simple stuff. And I think when I was doing Taekwondo, I did one year just like wear my Taekwondo stuff because I'm like,
mm-hmm,
I don't know what else to be. And then we would go trick or treating. And I lived in a pretty small neighborhood. There weren't like a lot of kids
mm-hmm.
in my neighborhood, but a lot of people would pass out candy, so we'd go like a couple blocks down by where my babysitter lived. And I just remember that there's like one house that always went like all out, like in a spooky way. And it like I never wanted to go to that house because it was so scary.
Mm-hmm.
And even my mom, because like sometimes they'd be like, oh, it's like open and you can come in and da da da. And my mom was like, no, you're not doing that. So I
Yeah,
think it was
no.
like that coupled with like I really did not start getting into horror until I was towards the end of middle school. So like everything scared me when I was little, like everything. So I like as much as I liked Halloween, I didn't really like Halloween because there was like so much scary stuff going on.
Yeah, no, even as a kid, I was like terrified of stuff like that. And so like
Mhm.
we were pretty populated with kids in my time in my down because I was right downtown. So there were so
Right.
many neighborhoods I could get to. We never went to them all. We always stuck to like one route every year.
Mhm.
But we would after this one year where people jumped out of like piles of leaves,
Yeah.
like I had to avoid that block again for the rest of my time. I
Mhm.
couldn't go and do it. Or like the
Right.
people who sit really still
Oh, I
on the
hated
porch.
that. I was so scared to go up to the doors, like, 'cause I'm like, I know that's a person. Like, I know that something is going to happen. So it was always like such a fine line of like having so much fun and then like crippling anxiety
Yep,
of
that's
being
exactly
like,
me.
I don't want to go up to these doors.
Girl, that's me having a lot of fun, but also anxious on the inside as every single college party
Low
we went
key.
to. Like low
Yeah.
key. It was that's why we drank so much. It's just to
Well,
get
I
rid
don't
of that.
drink. I just kind of spiral endlessly. But
Okay,
that's
well,
another podcast.
no, I was just
It's
talking about
just
parties.
turtles
I
all
don't.
the way down.
Ooh, yeah, you finished that book. Did you like that?
Yeah, it was good. I
Okay, well,
loved it.
okay,
We can talk about that
we'll talk about
another
that
time
later. But
too.
yeah, anyway, yeah, it just Halloween is just a really good time of year for me.
Yeah.
When it's rainy and cold like this, like most of the time Halloween's in Michigan especially, where like you had your costume on, but then you put your
I
coat
was
over
gonna
it.
bring that
Yeah,
up.
I was
Like,
like,
did
damn.
you ever have years where you had just a bitchin' costume and the weather like fucking ruined it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you had to wear like a snowsuit under your costume or like you had to wear long sleeves but it like didn't work. Like I growing up I had these like long sleeve like cotton like turtlenecks
Mm-hmm.
and that was just like the style. But then like when you're trying to be a witch, I'm like this looks bad.
Yeah.
Like really bad when I just have a white and I'm like, "Oh, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get it because I have this shirt on. It doesn't go with my costume." Actor problems.
Yeah, no, it's like this isn't the witch aesthetic, Mom. How do you know what that word is?
How can I be an M&M?
With the white turtleneck. The green one's the sexy one, Mom. I can't wear a turtleneck.
Oh my God.
The funny thing is, I don't even think that the green one was the sexy one until recently. Like, I'm pretty sure that
No.
the green M&M was not sexy until, or
Yeah,
even a
I don't know.
woman. I don't know. The
It was
M&M
always
discourse.
a girl. But then thinking back to it, I'm like, why green? Because blue has always been my favorite M&M. So even as I was saying like, yeah, green, I really liked it. I'm like, no, I didn't.
All of them like have personalities. I think the blue one's like the confident one because the orange one was
Well,
scare is like a scaredy cat,
yeah,
and then
that's
the red
more
and
me
yellow
than
is like
anything.
everything, and then the brown one is like the sensible librarian, and
Oh, that's me.
but also sultry. She's like the sensible sultry
Well,
librarian. I think
maybe not.
you're pretty sultry. Hey yo,
Thanks.
I still
Oh
have
man.
that. I was gonna be like, I still have that video of you, but let me finish that sentence. I still have
What?
that because you asked me to take what video of your performance as the lips, and I still have
Oh
that.
yeah.
And so that
Oh.
means you have a video of me somewhere because you took video of me. But anyway, that's not the point. We both wore corsets. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. I still
Um,
have that corset. I love it.
I think I got rid of it because eventually I
Oh
decided
yeah,
that
yours. Yeah.
the one I had was a size too big, if you could believe
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
God, I need to find better things to wear. But um in college, I was a deer. I reused my deer costume multiple times because
Mhm.
I did special makeup for that, um, which required way darker of a bronzer than I would ever put on my face daily. So I was always kind of worried about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be anything else. I'm just trying to be a deer and like I have a nose on. Like people never called me out for
Oh
it,
no, you're
like
fine.
or
Yeah.
anything like that. But I did the deer a few times. Um, I did it once in high school too, so I just had that deer. I finally got rid of it. I was like, no more deer costume. Can't do it anymore.
Aw.
It's a nice fallback, but because for Rocky, if you weren't in the show, we always had to be in APO stuff or a costume, so just to
Mhm.
like keep up with holiday spirit, whatever. So
Yeah.
I
I
wore
would
that a
wear
few
my
times.
onesie to
Oh
like
yeah, the onesies.
every midnight show that I wasn't in just because.
We had to clean up at the end.
Yeah.
God,
So I wore my onesie a lot.
we don't have to do that anymore. That's
I
nice.
know.
If we go and then we can leave, be like, hey, bye.
Aha! Yep.
Uh, um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff we've done during Halloween. Mm. Trick or treating was always fun. Were you the person
Mhm.
who like sorted out their candy, or did
Yeah, I had to.
you who had to? Yeah.
Mhm.
Did your
Yep.
parents check it?
My mom did
Yeah.
because, like that urban legend about like needles and stuff being in candy. Did you ever hear that? You never
No,
heard that? Oh, that's
no.
like a quote unquote urban legend where like that's why parents check candy because um like oh you bite into a candy and there's a razor blade in it or something, but that really happened to my mom when she was little.
No way.
Yeah, she was trick or treating and there was like this really nice older woman down the street that was like handing out apples or whatever. She's like, okay, cool. So they brought it back home and her mom sliced into it and it was filled with like pins and needles and razor blades and shit.
From an old
So,
lady?
yeah. And so like people always like made fun. I don't know, you probably never caught it, but like even in college, like um people in the green room and stuff would be like joking and shit about like that urban legend. And I'm like, guys, that's not freaking funny because that really happened to my mom.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
Like I know parents who would like check because like you're not supposed to eat like homemade stuff,
Yeah, and
or
like if it looks like it's been opened, don't eat it,
yeah.
like that sort of thing.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, my mom would check on my candy. And I
Yeah.
remember, and I must have like, it must not have bothered me when I was younger, but I had to have gotten to a certain age where I was like being snippy one year or
Mm-hmm.
something. And then my mom like told me that, and it never bothered me again. Because I'm like, that is bad. And then I was terrified. So now I will check my children's candy.
Yeah,
I hope
absolutely.
she was being serious. I'm sure that she was, because she wouldn't. I don't think that she would.
Yeah.
Because I would bring it up again, you know? Because,
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes like, my friends would come trick-or-treating with me or something, and they would be like, I don't know. I had friends whose parents were a bit more lax than mine were. Like, not that mine were, like, super strict or anything, but my friends' parents were just a little more lax. So they would sometimes like make comments and stuff, and then like my mom wouldn't say anything, I would, and she never was like, "What are you talking about?" Which sometimes she would, and sometimes my dad would too, and then I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then they would try to be like, "Oh no, I never, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Why are you gaslighting me? I'm 8." But
Stop gaslighting your 8-year-old. Yeah,
but
damn.
yeah.
Like I totally believe your mom. That's just
Yeah.
so
You never heard
crazy.
that? You should ask your mom. Ask your mom if she knows like that urban legend,
Yeah, I mean that's probably
'cause
also
it's
why
pretty popular.
she like checked my candy, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, no.
Yeah, we never, I mean, not that I ever really got um homemade stuff in my
Yeah, I never did
basket.
either.
I never got like fruit or anything either, but my mom still checked on my candy.
Damn.
So, yeah.
I'm no, I'm
Mhm.
terrified.
Oh,
Um,
don't be terrified.
no, it's okay. Um, like at what age did you stop like going trick or treating?
Um, I think the last time I went trick-or-treating, because then when I got older, I wouldn't go with my friends, but I would go with my cousins.
Mm,
So it was more
yeah,
of a family thing, because my cousin Stephanie would have like a Halloween party at her house, and when we went, then all of the kids would go trick-or-treating.
right,
So
yeah,
I would go with them. And I think the last time I did that was probably when I was like 15 or 16. And then we didn't go to any more of her Halloween parties after that. So then I didn't go trick-or-treating anymore.
yeah. I'm kind of in the
So,
similar boat because my sister's younger, and so I would go with. It was the same thing. It was like I would go with
mhm.
her and her friends with my parents or in a group, and my ex-boyfriend had a very younger brother, and so I remember I think one year when we were dating, we I went with him and his family to go
Okay.
trick-or-treating with the little brother. So yeah, it was around high school time that I actually stopped doing that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like have a cutoff age for my kid. Like if a kid in my future still wanted to as a senior in
As
high
long as they're
school, like
like yeah, as long as they're like doing it with their friends and they're not like doing it to be like rowdy and rude
yeah,
and shit, then I wouldn't really mind. Like, I think if they got into high school, like, I definitely wouldn't say like you can't unless you're with family, but I would definitely encourage it more like if they were doing it with their, second cousins and taking the younger kids out, because that's what I did. And I
yeah.
know that my aunts and cousins really appreciated that, so
If anything, I would encourage more Halloween spirit year round as my child got
yeah.
older. Like
Oh yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas is not only a Halloween movie, it's a Christmas movie, which is my
Well,
argument every single time.
yeah. Mhm.
Watch during Christmas too. It's a Christmas is it takes place during Christmas technically.
Yeah, it
So
does. I've
anyway,
gotten that far, at least. Just never all the way to the end.
I'm gonna
And I'm
keep.
sure, like, by the time I get all the way to the end, I'm gonna be really underwhelmed. And I think that's part of, like, the reason that I'm like, oh, I
Mm-mm,
feel like
no.
the hype is too much because I've been trying for so long
Like how far
to
have you
watch it.
got? How far have you gotten into that movie? What is the last plot point that you remember?
Um,
Did he discover Christmas?
yeah,
Did they capture Santa Claus?
no,
Ah, okay. Well, you
yeah,
barely made it through halfway of the movie.
yeah. And
So,
so then when I was playing, like, Kingdom Hearts and stuff,
oh, I
and
bet
they
you were
would be,
confused.
yeah, I'm like, what is this? And then Josh had to explain to me like Oogie Boogie and all of the stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know any of this. And what's the skeleton? What's his name?
Jack
Jack
Skellington.
Skellington.
Hmm.
Okay, because every time I see like merchandise with him on it, I say Skeleton Jack.
Yeah, they
And
call him. They
yeah,
do
'cause
call
they
him
in the
Skellington
song.
Jack. Yeah,
Yeah. And then Josh he always starts laughing. And he's like, that's not his name. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's part of the lyrics. They do call him Skeleton Jack in the song, but
yeah.
his name is Jack Skellington. It's like a weird,
Jack
yeah.
Skellington.
But Oogie Boogie
Yeah.
song, you at least need to get a little bit further for the next song to be like Oogie Boogie's theme, because he's like a
Oh.
weird casino, like
Yeah,
neon guy.
he
It's
is in the
really
movie
cool.
too,
Mm-hmm.
because that is like the boss in Kingdom Hearts reminds me of the casino, the like really weird like King Boo in Super
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine.
Yep. Yep.
That is what the Oogie Boogie boss reminds me of, or one of them. There's like a couple Oogie Boogie bosses, but like one of them is definitely in a casino, and I was like, what the heck is
Yeah, he
going
has that
on?
aesthetic in the movie as well, and his
That
song
is
just
so weird.
it's good though. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
I'll
know it is. I just, for whatever reason, I cannot. Like, I either fall asleep or I'm just like, I don't know. I can only take so much of it, and I don't know why.
I don't
I
know.
hate it. I hate the way I am.
The title of this episode. Happy Halloween. I hate the way I am.
Skeleton Jack.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that we can talk about that's Halloween related?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how do you feel about in schools? I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but
Oh,
we
okay.
don't celebrate any holidays. And so
Yeah.
it's like really hard because I'm like, I know that this is going to be a big thing because most of my kiddos probably go trick or treating. Maybe they don't, but
Mm-hmm.
they probably do. So I have it like on my calendar, but like we're not doing like an in-depth study. And then one of my parents donated like a bunch of craft stuff that is very much like Halloween, and I'm like,
You can't use it.
crap, I can't do it. So instead we painted a bunch of pumpkins and I might like play a game with like the foam pumpkins or something that she donated, and I said that I would save the foam spiders until we do our insect study at the end of the year and stuff like that. So like I'm putting it to use, but I'm like, oh my God, it is different.
Yeah, no, as I elementary school, definitely. We would
Mhm.
like have a costume parade around the entire
Yeah.
school. That was always fun. Middle
Mhm.
school, we had a Halloween dance, and this you said school and
Yeah.
Halloween, and I remembered one of my costumes, and it's so obscure that I don't even know if you're gonna get this reference.
Oh
Did
my
you play
God.
Neopets as a kid?
Yeah. But not like die hard. So
So, there was a
were
Neopet
you a
character.
Neopet? Were you one of the Neopets? Can you
Was
even
was
do
I
that?
a Neopet?
I
Oh,
don't
for
know.
Halloween. Yes. Okay, but I was this really specific character because I had playing cards, Neopet playing cards, and there was this witch, and it was the Neopet
Aw,
that was like the red. They looked like dogs. I don't know what they're called anymore, but they
I
looked like
don't
dogs.
know.
And this character specifically was a red one. So I had big floppy ears. I can't for the life of me remember what this
Oh.
Neopet was called. But she in the card she was a witch. So I had a witch costumey on, but I had these big ol' ears and a tail, and everyone thought I was Clifford. And I was like, no, I'm this Neopet character,
And
duh.
they were
And
like,
everyone was like,
wow.
yeah, sixth grade me, and was like,
Oh my God, that's
I remember
awesome.
that so vividly now. That was one of my favorite costumes that I obviously pushed back to the chambers of my mind that I forgot.
For one of my school dances. Actually, it was after I went to Catholic school, so it had to have been when I was a junior in
Mhm.
high school. I went back to my public school where all my friends were at and to the Halloween dance, and I was Dora the Explorer. And my mom like made a backpack for me and like
Nice.
embroidered like the face. Like
Oh,
legit, we got like a picture online. And my mom like edited it to make it transparent so it would only do the eyes. And I don't think I still have it, but yeah, I got rid of it. And then we just like went to the thrift store and pieced together the
that's so
rest of
fun.
the costume. Yeah, that was really cool. I liked that because I was really into Dora the Explorer when I was in high school.
I love kids things. I still
Oh,
love things that are meant for children that I as a
I mean, me
23-year
too.
old post grad. Okay, but see,
That is why I'm a
you
preschool
yeah,
teacher.
I'm like,
I can
you
get
can get
away with
away
it.
with it. You get away with it, but when I spend an hour in a toy store freaking out about all the cool ass toys that these kids can
Yeah,
now get, and one, I don't buy anything because I'm an adult, and two, I am by myself with no kids. I look
I
like a
mean,
freak.
the only thing that is different between our scenarios is that I try to justify it and go, how can I use this in my room? Can
Right,
I?
yeah.
Can I stretch it so that I can have
And I'm like,
it?
why do I need this fake ass Keurig set that's meant for children? It doesn't even
Oh
make
my
real
God, I
coffee.
love that.
Yeah, I
I've
know.
seen that. And I really want it for my pretend play area because it's so cool.
And I'm
Oh
like,
my
I don't
God.
need this.
Actually, I've been looking at a lot of the like Halloween costumes, like the butterfly wings and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And like I'm waiting for it to go on clearance so that I can get like a couple for my dress up area.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think I can justify that
Yeah,
maybe.
you definitely could justify that shit. I can't. I'm just a creepy adult. Um, here's a hot topic dealing with Halloween.
Sure.
Cultural appropriation costumes.
Oh yeah.
That
That yeah.
is so fun to talk about. I don't know. So like
Yeah.
obviously there's nothing around it. If you're white, you can't go as anything else that's not white.
Yeah.
You can't go as a black person for Halloween. Like
Well, no.
the things that go through people's head
But like, okay. 'Cause like, I mean, sure. But like, what if you're you're going as like a character on a TV show, but you're not like doing the full makeup, but you're like, oh yeah, I'm.
as
You
long as
can't do that.
I think as long as you're going, well, I guess that's still
Well, what if
debatable.
you? Cause I feel like that's like being respectful enough.
I think it's mostly blackface that I at least
Yeah.
have a problem with.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
um, I don't know. I guess like say Orange is the New Black. I'm trying to think of a TV show
Mhm.
and someone wanted to go as Crazy Eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Probably not.
No.
I wouldn't want to see a white person be Crazy Eyes for Halloween.
That I guess that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't
Mm.
know. But yeah,
Yeah, it
just a
is
whole
kind of
bunch of
interesting.
cultural appropriation costumes and like
Mhm.
that's so
But what if like my favorite Disney movie is Pocahontas, and I like don't do anything crazy, and I just really want to be Pocahontas, or maybe I have like a really pretty dress, and I really want to be Princess Tiana.
hmm, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. See, it's always a gray area because I
Yeah.
always thought that it's like you know, painting one skin to be another skin tone. So I guess if
Well,
you were
right. What
like
if you're not doing that? If you're just wearing the costume? Because people
T
don't get, because like, if we're, let's just go with the princesses,
sure.
since that's like the easiest thing. If you see, well, I mean, it's the easiest one to justify,
Okay.
because if you see a little kid dressed up like Princess Tiana, you're not gonna say nothing, because they just want to be Princess Tiana. Would you get mad at the parent?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, like, one of my kiddos, like, really wants to be Rapunzel, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But she's, African American. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you're gonna be Rapunzel, and, like, that's really cool. I know it's not, like, there's not a reverse cultural appropriation, obviously, but it's, like, it's just interesting.
Yeah, I think definitely mostly because those are animated characters
Mm-hmm.
versus real people, I guess.
Do you think that
Maybe.
like cultural appropriation comes more from like if the costumes are stereotypical? Because those are always the things that like you see on Tumblr where it's like my race is not a costume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like people
So do you think
who
like that is more cultural appropriation than being like specific characters?
maybe like like
Because I don't
definitely
really know. I
definitely
don't know
when
that
you
much
put
about
on a
it.
fake mustache, a sombrero, and a poncho and you say you're a Mexican for Halloween, you
So I
know.
can't dress up like Josh. He gets so mad when I say stuff like that. It's bad. I shouldn't say stuff like that. But
But see, I know you and like Josh
yeah,
is Mexican, so it's like, that's
it's
not
just
an
funny.
excuse, but I know
Well,
that
it's
you're
not
not
an excuse.
racist.
Yeah.
um yeah, so I guess doing that is like a whole generalization of Mexican culture. So is doing like sugar skulls, of the
Yeah.
cultural significance of sugar skulls
Right.
and Day of the Dead and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's like an insensitivity to that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So,
But what if it like someone like me who is like I mean, I'm not Mexican, I'm not Latina or anything. And but because Josh is Hispanic
mhm.
and I'm like really into Day of the Dead, would it be okay for me to do sugar skulls or not? Like, where's the line?
Yeah, now we're getting into a whole
How
different
far is too
conversation.
far? That
God, no, don't. Um, this is an entirely different topic. I think,
it is. We should have thought of that.
goddamn. I th
I guess I don't know. I also don't really know that much about cultural appropriation. This is my white privilege showing. It's a relatively new term for me.
mm,
Like, since being in college, I had never heard the term cultural appropriation until I got to
I
college.
I
So,
I don't think people were really talking about it before we came off to college because the
yeah,
whole Tumblr culture and like PC culture and stuff really
yeah,
started with like our generation and younger becoming like really aware of those insensitivities to
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's new
Mhm.
for a lot of people, you know? So don't,
Mhm.
I mean, but yes, definitely our white privilege is showing because we can't answer any of these questions.
I know we can't answer any of it. It's just
And
like
I'm
all
like, I don't know.
speculation. So I'm like, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have a conversation with Josh about it because I know like we've talked about it before,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. And it was a whole other thing. Um, I'll bring it up because I can. It's my story to tell. But one year when we were doing Rocky, I dressed up like the lips.
Oh,
Did you
yes.
ever hear that story?
You have told me this story
Yeah,
because I've heard it from other people before I
from other
knew it was
people.
you. Yep.
Yep. And I had done the costume before. I did it in Grand Rapids. I did it with Allegra. I did it
Mm-hmm.
for like several years before. And basically we thought it would be like a really good idea, totally innocent going into it. And we
Mm-hmm.
just did not, and I don't know why, 'cause like we're educated women. It just did not click until
Right.
someone like pointed it out because if you're familiar with Rocky Horror, like the movie starts with a black screen with just a red pair of lips coming on it. So we're like, okay, cool. We'll paint our whole faces black with bright red lipstick and wear all black
Mm-hmm.
except for a shirt with like the Rocky Horror like logo on it. And I'm like, it'll be so cool. Not so much,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
I guess. And I went into it and then yeah, it was not good.
like
Not good.
people wrote about that, didn't
Oh
they?
yeah, it was in Sam Life. I stood next to the person who did that article for over an hour, and they did not say a single word to me the whole time they were in line. And then me and my friend, who also was writing for Sam Life at the time, tried reaching out to her later to set the story straight because they made it seem like we were really insensitive and da da da. And it's like you didn't say a single word to us. Like we
Right,
would have
yeah.
explained it because you also just assumed that we were in blackface, and that is not what our costume was.
Right, yeah.
And you know, and yeah, and when we tried to talk to her about it, she ended up tweeting that she loves stirring the pot. And I'm like, that is fucked because that like ruined a lot. Like that was bad. Like really, really bad. So,
I remember that. I didn't know you at the time that that happened. And
mhm.
so when I heard about that from other people and then I found out that that was you and I was like that is crazy sauce because like hearing it from you I'm like yeah, like that makes
Yeah.
sense in
Like
theory.
sure, like best judgment, probably not. But like going into it, I'm like, yeah, I've done this costume before. I've got nothing but like compliments on it from, like everyone who's seen it. So I'm like, oh, this will be like really cool last minute costume to do with one of my friends. Not so much.
Right, yeah.
I guess. And I never like faced that before like being in a college town. So then like I was having the debate with my friends like do you think that college towns are just like more highly sensitive because like we're in those types of classes and they're teaching us to be like I don't know, like I felt like when and that's a whole different conversation too. Like I never saw like that level of just like political correctness and I'll say social justice warriors. Like, just throw that out there before I came to college. And it's like, it really felt like we couldn't do anything without somebody. like getting offended. And it's like not always for the right reasons. Like maybe they weren't always informed either, which in that case, like we were both wrong, but she did not open her mind to our side of the story, which is what a reporter should do. So that was really frustrating as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, especially if she was standing right next to you and be like,
Mhm.
hey, listen,
Yeah. I'm
um,
still like super embarrassed about it.
oh
So,
my goodness, it's in the past. And honestly, and
yeah.
quite frankly, if people cared, because people in our department, like,
'Cause Shelby came
knew.
out. Our friend Shelby came out. That was the first time I ever talked to Shelby in my
Right,
life.
exactly.
And she marched straight up to me and said, "What is your costume?" And I said, "We're the lips." And I like explained it and she like took a step back and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then she like turned around and went back. And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, see, I mean, especially, like, I think if people in our circles, the people putting on the show,
Mhm.
especially, like, if they didn't want you there because of that incident and what happened, then they wouldn't have let you in. But
Yeah.
you played the lips for
Exactly.
two
Full
years.
circle.
No, for 1 year.
LOL.
Did you play it for 1 year or two?
2.
For two
And I
years.
would have gotten involved like way sooner because I was definitely like doing stuff in the theater department when that happened, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like so shook by all of it that I was scared to
Absolutely.
sign up
No, I
to do
totally get it.
Rocky.
The past
Yeah.
is the past, and like
Mhm.
now you know that that may not be the greatest Rocky costume to do again. So I
Yeah.
guess
Mhm.
but anyway, oh my gosh, I feel like near the end of shows, we know that we're near an end of a show when we go like 180 degrees,
Way
completely off topic,
philosophical and just
way
like
philosophical and way off topic. So yeah, do we want to call it a night? Because honestly,
yeah.
I'm really off on my time. I have no idea how
I
long we've been
know
recording.
because of everything that
But yeah.
happened with the
Oh,
recordings, but
that's okay though. It's
yeah,
chill. But
it's good.
anyway, well, happy Halloween. This is going to come out a week before Halloween. But
Yeah.
happy Halloween to everyone. Be safe and warm and dry because it's probably going to rain, like it always
Yeah.
does. And
It is going to.
check your kids' candy. Check your own
Yes, check
candy.
your kids' candy always,
If you're going to go
because
and
you
get
never
drunk,
freaking know,
right?
and that is terrifying. And be responsible
Yep. If you're going to
and
go
safe.
be drunk at a club, then just be safe. Have rides. If you run into a clown, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
So. But anyway, have a good spooky holiday, everyone. And
Mhm.
I don't know what our theme next week is going to be, so it's going to be a surprise to everyone. We haven't talked about
Yeah,
that.
totally.
We haven't planned that far ahead, so we'll plan that
No.
out. But anyway, have a good night. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.